I'm thinking this vlog is getting a theme. My reading taste is more gory every day. I'm sorry. Hey. How y'all doing? That was so cringy. I apologise. Hi everyone, it's Rose and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another spoiler-free reading vlog. There is no set challenge, there is no set goal, we are just going to mood read together. I have no set TBR, I'm gonna pick up whatever book I'm in the mood for whenever I'm ready to start a new book, and you are gonna come and join me. The last reading vlog I posted was reading 7 books in 7 days, and whilst that was fun, it was absolutely chaotic, so I thought I would give myself some grace in today's video. And I guess without further ado, let's talk about the first book I'm going to read. Now this is the second book in a romantasy duet. It is young adult, and I actually read the first book in my last reading vlog. That's right, we are going to be reading The Thorn Queen by Sasha Peyton Smith. This is the second book in the Rose Bargain series. It is a young adult fantasy romance, and I rated the first one 3.5 stars. I didn't love the plot, but I really liked the romance and the different character dynamics, and I feel like that is going to come into play a lot more in the second one. I have in fact borrowed it from Libby because I don't have a physical copy. Our local library is coming in clutch once again. And this is relatively short. It says it's around 360 pages. I don't know where we're going with the plot, and I can't tell you anything really about the plot because it's the second book. But I have an hour or so before I need to get ready for my plans today, so I'm going to get some reading in now and we'll see how I'm feeling. So it is now the evening. I'm back from spending the day with my bestie, but before I had to leave and go get ready, I managed to read around 40 pages of The Thorn Queen. I'm liking it, but I'm really missing 2 characters in particular that are not there. I will not tell you which 2, but they are very dearly missed. I am feeling their absence. I'm going to switch over to the audiobook for now and try and get a couple hours of reading in tonight, and then I don't really have anything to do tomorrow, so we should be able to get a good chunk read then. I'm only 12% in, so that's kind of the only update I can give you, but next time I speak to you I will have read at least another good chunk so we can actually talk about it. It is the next day and I made some decent progress in The Thorn Queen last night. I am now halfway through. I don't know how I'm feeling about this. There's definitely more plot and I'm liking the plot more, but I liked the character dynamics in the first book and we're not getting those same dynamics in the second one, so I think it kind of evens out in terms of like, this is how I was for plot versus characters in the first book, and now it's kind of evening out. I don't know what I'm going to end up rating it, but I'm only halfway through. It's definitely not a 5-star, but I am enjoying it and I'm going to see it through to the end. And I think I'm going to make that my goal for today because it is already the afternoon and I don't have any plans for the rest of the day. So I think I'm going to try and read the remaining 50% and get this book finished. It is now the evening and I have finished up the book and I think I'm settling on a 3-star. It was good, it was not amazing. I've said many times on this channel, the more I read fantasy, the more I'm realizing my taste in fantasy, and young adult fantasy tends to just not be my vibe. I knew that's what this was going into it, but I was gifted the first book, so I wanted to give it a try, and I wasn't disappointed. I think if you like young adult books, you will love this, because even as someone who's not a fan, I enjoyed it. This could be a 5-star duology for you if that is your kind of thing. I had a good time. It wasn't the most amazing book for me ever, but the vibes were there. The ending was as predicted. It wasn't the most satisfying thing to me, but it was good, it was easy, and I, like I said, would recommend. I don't know what I'm gonna read next, so I'm gonna have a think and then get back to you when I decide. It may be the same angle, but it is most definitely not the same day since I last spoke to you. I have picked up my next read, and I'm thinking this vlog is getting a theme because I'm continuing another series. I may not stick to that for the other books we read in this vlog, but so far we are 2 for 2. This is The Secret by Katarina Diamond. I read a standalone from her and I absolutely loved it. And then I read the first book in this series and I rated it 3 stars. I love thrillers. I don't think I'm a big fan of thrillers where we follow the crime side, like the detective side of things. I don't really like the police force side of things. And this is kind of why it's a series, because it's different cases each time, but it's the same detectives. But I have started this and so far we're definitely getting more of the thriller aspect than actually being in the detectives' POVs, and the detectives have secrets themselves, so I think I might enjoy this one a little bit more than the first one. I can't really tell you too much about this because not only is it the second book in a series, but I like going into thrillers blind, and I think you should too. I will say check your content warnings. It doesn't hold back from some dark things going on, but that is what I like in thrillers. I don't read books for the faint of heart, apparently. I'm learning my reading taste is more gory every day. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I haven't read too much of it yet, but it is now the evening and I am going to get at least a couple hours of reading done, so we will get a good chunk in to be able to actually give you some updates tomorrow. I was right, this vlog has definitely turned into a continuing series I'm in the middle of. I read The Secret in one sitting. I didn't even stop to update you. I am so sorry, but I couldn't put it down. I've decided to rate this 4 stars. I had much better experience reading this one than the first one in the series. When I did read The Teacher, which was the first book, there were about a million different characters and I couldn't keep up, and then we were being introduced to new ones and then they were dying and then being replaced with new ones and then dying. This was not like that. I could follow who everyone was. I'm starting to develop like attachments to reoccurring characters. I had such a good time and I need to know what the next case is going to be. So the next book we're reading is book 3 in this series. It is called The Angel. Truth won't stay locked up forever. When a burnt body is found in a disused signal box, suspicion falls on lonely teenager. There's no doubt he was at the scene of the crime, but does he really deserve what awaits him in prison? Oh, the duo realise he might have been locked up for a crime he didn't commit, but with enemies watching his every move, they may be too late. Oh my god, I am starting this today. I will try and update you. I will try not to binge this book. This one's a bit longer, so it's like 450 pages. So I will try my hardest to talk to you in between, but I fear I'm going to get sucked up in this story. I'm having such a good time. This is such a pleasant surprise to how I was feeling before I started The Secret. I'm having a good day, guys. Hey! Hey! How y'all doing? You know the thing I said I was going to try not to do? I read this book in one sitting again and didn't update you guys. I'm sorry! It was just really good. I read the entirety of The Angel and I rated this one 4 stars as well. It was so good. I just couldn't put it down. It really is a read in one sitting kind of story, because for the first like 100-ish pages you're being introduced to like the different characters and you're getting them all straight, and so you're like, I don't want to stop right now because I need to figure out in my head who's who. And then once you've figured it out, the plot picks up and does not slow down right until the end. This was so good, so much fun, and it was just yeah, absolutely 4 stars. So good. And then I should have gone to sleep, but I didn't. That is why I sound so rough right now, because I've had basically no sleep, because instead I stayed up and started the next book in the series. This is The Promise by Katarina Diamond, and I can tell you something about this book. This case sounds so unique. I'm gonna have such a good time with this. I've read the back of this and realised I had to start it. They're investigating a serial killer who likes to date his victims before he kills them, and then FMC, who is like the lead detective, is gonna go undercover on a dating app and try and get his attention. And then we're also following this boy who's moved from America to the UK where this is set. There's something that happened in his past, which is why they literally moved across the world, and I don't know how those two things are going to connect, but I'm scared. I don't really have any plans for this afternoon, so I'm probably going to read this entire thing again. I'll try and update ya, but I'm already 121 pages in and I'm loving it already. I don't know how these two stories are going to connect, but I'm worried for when they do, because nothing good can come of it. So much fun. I'm having so much fun. I'm just sorry that I'm not updating you as much, but I'll see you in a second, I guess. For me, it'll probably be a few hours, but for you, it'll be now. That was so cringy. I apologise. You already know what I'm gonna say. You already know I've come here to apologise. I did it again. I read it in one sitting. It's the same day as when I last spoke to you. I didn't even put it down to speak to you. I'm rating it 4 stars. I have actually decided to change my rating of The Secret to 4.5 stars. This is the first one of this series that we read in this video because I just loved it that bit more than The Angel and the Promise, but very solid. Enjoyed them all so much. I just keep thinking about this one and how the reveals were just that bit better. So I'm actually gonna up this rating. Yeah. The Promise, super good, super fun, still 4 stars. I'm sorry, but when you're just into a book, you just can't stop for anything. I don't know what I'm gonna read next. I'm gonna try and not just make this video about me reading one series, but I fear that may be what's about to happen because I already can't stop thinking about the next book. It's called Truth or Die. I'm definitely gonna get to it at some point, but I don't know if it will be the next book I pick up. But whatever I pick up next, you're about to find out. I need to just admit defeat, accept this is who I am, and stop saying it's not gonna happen, because it is. Because I read 2 entire books yesterday. You know, after I finished a book and told you I wasn't gonna make this about reading one series, I then read the entirety of Truth or Die, and I rated this one 3.5 stars. I didn't like it quite as much because we had some characters come back from the first book, which I rated 3 stars, and I think maybe I just don't like those characters as much, and it knocked off half a star from the other books in this series, but that's okay because it's not putting me off. I will be continuing. I didn't want to do this to this vlog, but the pull of this series and the accomplishment I'm gonna get when I finish it is just too strong. The next one is called Woman in the Water. It is probably going to be read in its entirety today. I'm sorry. This has such an interesting premise though. You gotta hear me out on this one. A woman's body is found submerged in icy water. Police are shocked to find she's still alive. She won't disclose her name or what happened to her even when a second body is discovered, and then she disappears. Just gotta find out what's her deal, what's going on with her. I need to know. So I am probably gonna read this entire book today. At some point I'll be actually talking to you, but I can't let you know when that's gonna be, because clearly I forget my camera exists when I pick these books up. I don't know what's happening to me. Am I losing my vlogging edge, guys? I need a comeback era, I swear to God. Anyway, I'm gonna go read my book. Okay. I hope you guys are proud of me because I'm only about 30% into this book and I'm talking to you. Round of applause, round of applause. I seem to forget I'm vlogging when I read these books. I am on chapter 33, page 137, and I am having such a good time with this book. It starts off with a bang, let me tell you. So a woman is found freezing cold in a river, but somehow miraculously she is alive. She will not tell the police her name, she won't tell the hospital her name, and then she leaves the second that she can. She disappears. They find some connection to another body that was found where she was, and they go to interview this guy, and rather than talk to the police, he literally stabs himself in the chest and dies, rather than answer the police's questions. What the hell is going on? I'm obviously not going to tell you what's going on because, first of all, I don't know, but second of all, when I find out, it will be spoilers, so I will not let you know. But I will tell you that I'm having a good time. I don't know if I'm enjoying it as much as I enjoyed books 2, 3, and 4. Like the last book in this series, I dropped from a 4 to a 3.5. I don't know where we're going to go with this one. I guess I will just have to keep reading to figure that out, but they're fast-paced, they are easy reads. I am literally flying through them, as you have seen. This is a good series. I'm having a good time. This was a series I literally knew nothing about the author, I knew nothing about the books. My nana gifted me the set of them for Christmas because she knows I like thrillers, and I never would have known about these if I hadn't picked it up. Like, they have 3,000 ratings on Goodreads, roundabout, each of the books. I literally never would have known, and I'm having such a good time. I love finding lesser known books. I love reading books I've had nothing about before. It is so fun and refreshing, and you know, there's no possible way for me to have spoilers because I've never seen anyone talk about it before. It is just so much fun. So it is like 4 p.m. right now. I have no plans for the evening other than to read this book, so I'm probably going to end up finishing it this evening, and we will see what happens. So I finished Woman in the Water by Katarina Diamond, and I'm going to give this one a 3.5. It's hard to talk about. This is like, is it book 6 in the series now? The recurring characters I've grown a bond and attachment with, and the things that happened in this book, it was dark, you guys. It was so emotional, and not even like sad, like I want to cry. I felt a pit in my stomach. I felt empty. I just felt so much for what happened in this, because it was so much more than just the case. It was like these people that I've been reading about for books and books dealing with unimaginable things. Yeah, I'm sorry that I'm being so vague, but this is obviously spoiler free, so I can't tell you what it was, but I will say check your content warnings. I wasn't expecting that. I think that's where we're going to leave up today's video, a bit of a shorter one, but we did read a lot of books. It was just, I was not picking up my camera as much as I should, but I promise my next video will be a longer reading vlog. It will have more clips of me actually talking about the books I'm reading rather than just telling you, I'm starting this, I finished it. I don't know what's happened with me the past week or so, but I just kind of forgot I had a camera when I read this series. This video started not knowing what I was going to do, and it turned into a finishing series I'm in the middle of, continuing series I'm in the middle of kind of reading vlog, which are always fun to make, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you would like to see more from me, please be sure to like and subscribe as I post new videos every single week. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you in another video. Bye!